Hi everybody, I'm Pastor Bill and this is Fixing Things. The generator's got to run today. The show is coming up, and in fact we're going to probably try to test it here in a little bit. My son's been out here today and he's been working on it and working on the carburetor and working on the points and whatever else you've been working on. Got a battery installed in it, and that's where we left off. He's turned it over a couple times and got the electronics in the sparkulating box up there, sparkulating right. And thank you, Derek, for those new words of using on automotive stuff. And so what we're going to do today is, I know that the governor on these things tend to stay in the shut position before you try to get them to run, so you can't pump them. So we're going to see if we can't get this thing started today. Oh yeah. Make sure you like and pound the subscribe button like that. And what else they got? Share. You got to share it, right? And do not do this. Got to do just this one, okay? Thanks. All right, last episode on the generator, we installed this. I went ahead and threw a cable up in here, and you see we didn't do hardly anything to it, except my son's got a battery installed in it, and he's hooked some jumper cables up to it, and so we got it set up for 220. So we'll be testing it here in a little bit. And I'm going to hook up the one breaker to it or something. All right, here's where all the stuff making it happen or stuff is. This is a very important part. This is the air cleaner. It's got mud dauber's nest still in it. And we got the gas run into a gas can right here, to the little electric clitty clatter pump right down here in the bottom, little clitty clatter pump. And then we got the L carburetor right here, and here's the mechanical governor. So this thing throws the carburetor in the off position. So I guess that's the way it's supposed to work. I guess you're supposed to run the choke on it until it starts. That pulls more fuel into the motor. And so we did all this, all the wiring. Remember last time we had a cable hooked up. The cable's gone now. It runs into the, see the hole, kind of hard to see. There's a hole right there in the back of the cabinet. That's where the cable came out. And we're going to try to get this thing running. So we got all the electricals all wired back up. We even got really healthy wire nuts on there. I'm not sure if that's automotive approved, but that's electrician approved, I guess. And we don't want to run it long because it's got, if it's even going to fire. He says it's getting spark, my son, and we got the clitty clatter pump hooked up to it. It's got a, I don't know, we'll give it a try. We'll give it a try. Hold on one minute. Action. All right, so we're going to try to give it a start. It's your generator, the run position. It runs. Everything was falling off it though, a lot of vibration. Sorry, that's a good thing. I guess the next thing to do is to see if it's making any power. Okay. All right, now we're gonna test the electricals and see if it's running. So we got it set on 500 on this Mickey Mouse electrical checker upper. And so go ahead and start her up, Mr. Williams.
Hold on. Hit the button. Hit the start button.
Hit the start button. All right, this thing is running. We're showing 115 on one leg, 115 on the other, 230. We could probably bump it up to 120, and that would get us 240, 245 or something like that, which is fine. When the load gets on it, it may jump down a little bit. We'll test that in the field when we get it running. So it's running. Now we just got to get some antifreeze in it so it doesn't overheat. Fixing things with my son. All right, so we got 125 amps. This is a 50 amp breaker, but it's going to be set up so we can run two 50 amp breakers, which comes up to about 100 amps. So you don't want to run it all the way up to 125 amps. You want to leave a little bit of headroom left in it. So we're going to go ahead and hook up at least one for one to test it out, and we're going to make up the cable. All right, so the way this works is the black is hot and the red is hot, and both of these are actually the same thing. We can put them under the lugs in the top, and my son, he's just bringing around one of my other PD boxes, which we're going to use as an extension from the cable we just made from my other PD box. And I still should have another 50 feet of cable somewhere. So let's get hooking this thing up.
I don't know, dude. The only thing I can do with that battery box, I'm going to have to grind it off.
Yeah, we're going to have to grind off the two things on the bottom of the battery box, because the battery we're putting in it is bigger than the original battery.
That's one of those commercial ones.
Yeah, we're putting a commercial battery because we got doing commercial stuff with the commercial generator.
I bought cables for it, but I don't have the nuts. I see.
He's standing on it.
Yep, you're gonna get all dirty. It's a dirty thing.
I almost fucked it up.
Alright, so it looks like they only welded one side, so that's good.
Might be able to just take the channel locks and break it off. So we got antifreeze up in it now.
I'm gonna be on that side. You could come over here this side because it's a cool one.
Is that the better side, Miss Kaylee?
No, let me look at this side. This is
Hold on, no, stay down. This is not the better side.
okay. It's
This,
back.
it's gasoline.
Oh, this stuff tastes good, the gasoline.
I found a butterfly, Paul.
A butterfly?
A butterfly.
Okay. Excellent. Man, you scared the heck out of me. I thought this thing was catching fire.
Okay, it's gonna have to be grinded.
All right, so we got the two hots hooked up. So right now, if we start the generator up, that cable sitting on the ground will be energized. So we don't want to start it up unless the cat is next to it. No, I do not condone electrocuting cats. I got the green wire already in. As I explained in the last episode of the generator, not the U-Haul truck, the U-Haul truck, that the ground and the neutral inside the generator hooks to the chassis. So my neutral bar goes down, hooks to the chassis. Not only that, the box is screwed right to the chassis. Everything is screwed right to the chassis except for the nuts. So all we gotta do is hook these up to it. Safety gloves are for non-electricians. Only an idiot wears a mask in the car. And only an idiot wears gloves on a generator that's not running. Boom. All those wires are jumbled up. Well, this isn't JBL. All right. We got to see how this box is wired, because it's got pigtails hanging out of it, but we don't know what wires was used inside the box. It's been years and years since I wired this thing. Let's look inside there, check the wires out. What's that thing over there in the corner?
Looks like you had a little rat's nest living up inside there.
Mousy housey. Man, he had to crawl through that one little hole right there. A half inch KO. That's a small little mousy.
We should have left his home for him to come back to.
And he can be on the road somewhere. Also, we got to make it safe. We got some extra wires
right here
hanging out right there. We got to get out. So we got neutral, ground, red, red. So this box is hooked up exactly the way it's supposed to. Get cold out here. Hi everybody. All right, it's the next day, and my son went to the store to get some steel, and we did a show last night out here in the yard. All the neighbors were kind of wondering what the heck's going on. And we ran the generator for probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours. it worked flawlessly. It's running a little rich. I'm going to see if I can't figure out what's going on with the carburetor on that. But it's like really noisy. So most generators, they got insulation on the inside of the walls, and there's shadow boxes that keeps the sound out, but still lets air ventilation into the cavity of the thing, so it stays cool and gets fresh air for the motor and stuff like that. So today, so yesterday we got it's running and it runs great. We did the show with it. It's gonna work. Like I said, it's flawless. And so today we're gonna see if we can't quiet this generator down, to see if we can't make this thing tolerable, because you got to be able to hear. My son has to be able to, when he charges a lot of money for these big shows, and I'll post a picture right in front of the size of this show. If you go back on one of my other episodes, you also see a generator that we hooked up for the show. Go back and check that out also. So we're gonna make these doors up, do some welding today, see if we can't make this generator quiet. So if you want to know how to make a generator quiet, today we're gonna do it. We'll probably talk about some of the engineering involved, the stuff that kind of wiggles around inside a man's brain, and see if we can't get this thing quiet. So this is still set up from when, I don't know how that happened. Last night it was dark, so we needed a little light. So we're going to keep this door on here, and we're going to insulate the inside of the cabinet with all types of, we got some 2-inch styrofoam insulation. I got some other stuff that we can probably use. But on the door that we need to put on, this is the air sucks in here and blows out the radiator side. So when this thing was running last night, 90% of the sound was traveling out both ends. So both ends got this expanded steel grating on it, and the generator is not that loud. The exhaust is really all not that loud, but the fan on the radiator is extremely loud. I mean, really loud. It sounds like an airplane taking off. So we want to build a baffle on the door. So what I'm thinking is, since this is the air intake and air is going to go through the door into here, we'll build a bump out here that allows the air to go in and out, but the sound will hit that deflection device, but it still allow the air to come in and go out, and not allow some of the sound to come back out of the unit, but allowing enough air, because you want to have about the same circumference on your hole going in. So when it blows in, it comes in and goes down and shoots to the back of the cabinet and deflects, but still deflects the sound. And we're going to build these hinges. I got the hinges in. All right, so you can see the radiator. I'll zoom in here a little bit. And down on the bottom, there's this little metal aluminum lip. And that's designed to shoot the air up and out that graded thing. So the fan doesn't work like the one on a car. It blows out, blows through the radiator, sucks everything through the generator in this direction and out through that graded thing over there in the side right here. So we're going to build something on the outside of this so it's not restricting the radiator. So on this side, I'm kind of thinking we'll come out and go down And it's got to come past this lip, because sound travels line of sight. It's like if you walk around the corner, you can barely hear something. Like if a car goes around a corner of a building, all of a sudden, unless it's reflecting off walls or something, or if someone's talking and they turn their head, all of a sudden you can't hear it no more, right? It's kind of like this right here. Here's the microphone. And if I take the microphone and turn it to the back of my head over here somewhere, you probably hear it less. If I take it over here and point it away, it's less. So the whole idea is to make sure that line of sight, the sound isn't passing through. So we'll direct the air to blow out and down onto the ground, but also the sound is going to be dampened through being reflected. So we don't want the sound to be reflected out, we want the sound to be trapped in, if that makes sense. It makes sense to me. So we'll build a box, but have enough airspace in the box to allow for the air to penetrate through. Because if we slow the airflow down, the generator is going to get hot. And that's what we don't want. We don't want the generator to get hot. All right, so what I got here is a strap hinge, very heavy. And what I'm going to do is make that door swingable. It's got grease fitting and everything. So that's what we're going to do. Oh yeah, I got something else to show you. It's on the front. I found something. I found a piece of sheet metal. It's real thick. It'll be perfect for this application, and it's the exact same size as the machine. I'm going to give it some more air gap, pull it out even further, but it's going to work perfect. It came off an MDP panel. It's a 2,000 amp electrical panel that we pulled out when I worked for CFS, and I just thought the sheet metal was going to scrap, so I just took some of the sheet metal from it, and I figure I can make some projects with it, because that's what Pastor Bill does. Pastor Bill has projects. So we're going to mount that on there and stick it out further, direct all the sound down, and the hot air also should blow out. So I'm going to mount one hinge right here and one hinge right there. And these things are so heavy duty, they ain't never going nowhere. So I'm going to grind a little off here, grind a little off there, and start welding. Inch and 3/8. All right, that's tacked on there. Let's get the other hinge tacked on there. Do a little bit of grinding on the back side here. Get a good beat on that. Then I'm going to weld it up. Then we'll start working on the door. That's going to get into that corner. Got to hook the ground strap to it, or else it ain't going to work. Let's try that again. There we go. All right, we're going to shape up this door, get it ready for welding, get it ready for installing. Right now it's about an 1/8 inch smaller because that was the size. Well, an 1/8 be 1/4 of an inch all together. So we got to make sure it fits and doesn't rub when we shut it. It's got to be nice. All right, so after we got done grinding, we got a nice little gap all the way around. I got it slightly higher on this side, so when the weight of the door sits on the hinge, it will not be sagging. That's what I'm hoping for anyways. So we're gonna, I don't know if you can see that in the picture or not. Yeah. Now we're going to weld this strap hinge right to that. I get my helmet on. Not making contact because it can't go through the, have to hook it right to the strap. I ain't got nothing to cut this with. There we go. My son's back. Should have some steel. Alright, let's see if this thing works. Take the ground cable off. Take the clamps off. Take the L cardboard out. Let's open up the door. Look at that. Now let's check it to see what happens. It's still sagged a little bit. I even held it up higher.
Yeah, I think it's in the middle.
That's in the slack in the hinge. That's right, we'll grind it, make it fit.
It'll be alright.
It's only steel.
It's only steel. Steel's easy to fix.
That's right. Good.
So the thought is, we'll use this for a frame. We'll be able to bolt the whole assembly on and off if we ever need to.
Self-tapping screws.
Or self-tapping screws. If we ever have to cut this out to get in there, we'll be able to.
Shouldn't have to, but yeah.
Always got a plan for the future.
That's right. I think you need one more little weld there.
Ready?
Yeah. Okay. All right, before we close it in, we're gonna do a decibel, because I mean, what's the use of doing all this if it ain't gonna work, right? If it's still gonna be just as loud in certain spots. So we're gonna walk around with the dB meter and check it. So let me start it. You got the decibel meter ready?
Yep.
Alright, so right next to it, we're at 94 dBs. That's next, right at the door. Now we'll move around to the side where we got to close off. 106 dBs. And we'll walk around to the other side. And right next to it, we're at 94, 95 dBs. And on the back side here where the controls are, we're at 101 dB. So most of the noise is coming out the front. So that, yeah. So when we're running these outdoor shows, the front of that thing is over 100 dBs. 100 dBs is loud. So 120 is deafening. 100 dBs is loud. So it's going to be competing with the sound coming from the PA system. So what we want to do is get the whole generator somewhere around 85 dBs. That's what we're going to shoot for, about 85. So we already seen it was not, what, 95 at the front, on the sides?
Yeah, 95.
About 95. 95 is at human voice at pretty loud talking, or pretty loud screaming. So we'll see, once we get it done, we'll do another dB test.
Let me pull the screw out of the back of the door.
All right, you pull a screw out of the back of the door. All right, we're gonna show you what we attempted to do. We have not did a test on this yet. And so we made a box, put weather stripping behind it to keep it from rattling. And this should allow the air to get into the machine, but not allow the sound, to slow the sound coming in. Air can also come in. There's a lot of air gap at the bottom. So that's what we did on that. We're going to put a screw into it temporarily, just to hold it down. We noticed that there was some rattling going on in the door. Now I'm going to insulate the thing, so we put a piece of foam rubber to keep these ribs here from rattling. On the front, remember, it was flat and it had a extruded metal. This is a heavy piece of steel. And we put, see, it doesn't, no vibration. My son did a good job on that. My son, just like me. And we did the same thing on this side. Put the piece of foam insulation. It's like a rubber foam, not like a styrofoam. And we put some door sealer here to help keep the vibration down. Lock that bad boy up. Oops, broke that now. Now I gotta fix it.
We'll just go all the way around with it. But the whole thing's
jacked up now.
Yeah. Needs a little bit of work. It'll be alright.
Yeah, we got to fix things.
Fixing things of Pastor Bill.
Still vibrates.
It was definitely tighter before we fixed it.
All right, you got your thing out? Gonna pull our meter out, dB meter.
All right, we're ready.
All right, so just talking, we can get it up to about 75 dB. All right, that's 88 at a pretty loud. All right, so let's start this bad boy up. El Choco. Run. We was at 105 last time. That's not bad. That's about where we was before, 95. Back over here, we was at 105 last time. Not 97 dB. Every 3 dB is twice the volume. So we cut the volume down by more than half. Back over to about 95. That will walk away about 10, 20 feet and see what it does. All right, we're at about 15 feet away. We're at 89 dB, 90. It's a lot
That's
quieter.
a big improvement from last night.
Yeah, it was so loud, it was just as loud as the movie. All right, let's back away a little further. So here we are at about 25 feet away. We're at about 80. Matter of fact, when I'm speaking, it goes up and down. 86 dB. Check. 1, 2. Test, test, test. All right, let's go at about the distance it'll be away from the show. Well, it's going to be behind the show. So we're at 81, 82 dBs. And we haven't even did the insulation on it yet. Check. 1, 1, 1. So when I'm talking, it's going up. So my voice talking is louder than what the generator is at, what do you think we're at? 50 feet.
That's light.
40 feet.
Yeah, probably 40 feet.
About 40 feet. Oh, show that picture on that. That's the screen. That thing, how big is it?
15 feet by 25. Picture area.
That's a big screen right there, blow up. So there it is. All right, I think this is it for this episode of Fixing Things with Pastor Bill and my son Bill. I'm not sure what he's doing. He's up there taping up the door. I don't know. We're gonna let the thing run for a while to see if it had slowed down the airflow. Definitely the generator is a lot quieter, and we haven't even put the sound deadening insulation on the inside of the cabinet yet, and there's still some rattles and everything else we got to fix also. But all in all, I would say that's a success. Still hard at work. It's got a lot of tools to pick up. He's eager to get it done because we got these 2 shows got to get done. Remember to press subscribe and like and smash buttons, or I don't know. They say you're supposed to smash something, but I don't know what you're supposed to smash. Don't smash your tablet or your keyboards or anything. You might break it. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Without him, I can do nothing. I'm broken down, beat up, half crippled. I'm retired, and all I can do is cut hair now. But God gives me the energy to still fix things. My wife says, when are you going to slow down? When God takes the last breath out of my body. I'm going to keep on doing what I got to do. I don't have the energy to do half the stuff that I continue to do. I thank God that I do. God bless every one of you out there. Remember, you ain't going to get no projects done if you're just sitting around watching them, right? You got to get motivated and get doing things and pray a little bit. I guarantee it helps. It really does. It doesn't just motivate. It doesn't just give you energy and to do it. God literally comes down and helps you, makes things easier. God bless you.